What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can scrape Apollo leads and send the leads an outreach campaign by creating a simple automation on make.com. So let's get started. To scrape the Apollo leads, I'm going to use this tool called Apify. Apify is an incredible tool that you can use to scrape any website and automate projects. So create an account on Apify, and after creating an account on Apify, head over to Apify store. Here, we're going to search for the website that we'd like to scrape. In our case, we'd like to scrape Apollo, so I'm going to search for Apollo scraper, then click on search. We have 20 tools that we can use to scrape leads from Apollo. So you can use any of these tools over here, but I'm going to choose to use this tool over here, which requires no cookies. So I'll open it on a new tab. This is the tool that we're going to use to scrape leads from Apollo. All we need in this tool is this search URL over here. So on Apollo, we like to scrape founders of marketing agencies in the United States. So we've filtered our leads by founder, location, and the employees. So now here, I'll copy the search URL, and then on our tool, I'll delete this and paste our search URL over here. We're going to add the number of leads I would like to scrape. For example, you can choose to scrape only 25 leads. And now to do that, I'll click on save and start over here. You can see our tool is running over here, and it's fetching our leads over here. Let's give it a second so you can scrape for us the 25 leads. You can see it successfully scraped the 25 leads for us. Now, when we click on output, you can see the 25 leads that is scraped for us over here. So it scraped the location of our leads, which is the United States. So just scrape the email addresses over here. You can see we're getting email addresses of some leads. We're also scraping their first name over here, their headline from LinkedIn. We're also getting their last name, the LinkedIn URL, the full name over here, their photo URL, and their title over here. To automate this process of scraping leads from Apollo using our tool, on Make, I've created a scenario that I've renamed to Apollo Lead Scraping and Outreach Automation. Here, I'm going to search for Apify, since we're using Apify to scrape our leads. And then here, I'm going to click on Run an Actor module. Here, you'll need to create a connection between your Apify account and Make by clicking on Add, and then here choosing the connection type. You can choose to connect by adding an API token on Make, or choose the second option over here by clicking on it, and then clicking on Save. And then in the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to Make. Since I had already created my connection, I'm going to close and choose my connection right here. Then I'm going to choose our tool, which is this tool right here. And you can confirm if it's the tool by clicking on the tool right here, confirming if it's the tool. Over here, then here I'm going to choose to run synchronously. And then here, we'll need to input our JSON. To get our JSON, where it says manual and JSON, click on JSON. Then here, copy our JSON. So I'll copy it. Before we add it right here, we'll need to format our JSON. I'll use this JSON formatter tool to format our JSON. So I'll paste our JSON right here and click on process to format our JSON. You can see we formatted our JSON right here. So I'll copy it and paste our JSON right here. And here I'm going to leave everything as is and click on save. I'll rename this to scrape Apollo leads and click on OK. Here I'll add another module. Then on Apify, I'm going to click on the get dataset item module. This is a module that we are going to get our leads after we scrape them using our tool right here. This dataset ID, we're going to add the default dataset ID right here. You can increase the limit depending on the number of leads that you're scraping. Then here I'm going to click on save. Here I'll rename this to get scrape leads. And then I'm going to click on OK. To scrape our leads, I'll run our automation right here. Here, you can see that automation ran successfully, succeeded in scraping leads from this URL over here. Now, here, you can see the leads that we scraped. We scraped a total of 25 leads over here, which is amazing. So on each lead, we're getting their first name, last name, the name, LinkedIn URL, the title, the email address, the headline, their history, location, organization, languages, phone number, and all these other information over here. We're getting for each and every single lead that we just scraped over here, which is awesome. Now with our leads information over here, we can proceed to add the leads info to our spreadsheet. On Google Sheet, I've created a spreadsheet that I've renamed to scraping sheet. I've also created another sheet that I've renamed to Apollo leads. This is a sheet we're going to add our leads data. So here we're going to add the first name, last name, email address, phone number, a personalized first line. So we're going to add one outreach campaign. We're also going to add the LinkedIn URL over here. To add our leads to a spreadsheet, on Google Sheet, I'm going to click on add a row module. I'm going to search for a spreadsheet. This is the scraping sheet over here. For the sheet name, I'm going to choose Apollo leads. And here, we're going to add values to columns in our spreadsheet with the data that we scraped from Apify. So for the first name, we're going to add the first name. Last name, we're going to add the last name. Email address, we're going to add the email address over here. Phone number, we're going to add the phone number over here, the sanitized phone number. Personalized first line, we're going to add it later on after we've generated our personalized first line. LinkedIn URL, we're going to add the LinkedIn URL over here. And then here I'm going to click on save. Now, since some leads do not have the email addresses, you can choose to filter these leads. So here, I'll set up a filter, label this to email exists. Condition, here we're going to set up that the email should exist. And here I'm going to click on OK. So to add leads with email addresses to a spreadsheet, I'm going to run automation again. Here, automation ran successfully, succeeded in scraping our leads from Apollo using this tool. And here we're getting the scraped leads over here. We got a total of 25 leads. And then out of the 25 leads, only 13 leads have the email addresses over here. We proceeded to add them to a spreadsheet. So here I'll rename this to scraped leads. And then here I'm going to click on OK. When we open our spreadsheet, you can see we added our leads information over here. We added the first name, last name, email address, the phone number, the LinkedIn URL over here. Some of them have a LinkedIn URL and some of them do not have a LinkedIn URL. Notice that we did not add a personalized first line. This is because we did not generate the personalized first line. Here, on this module, you can see we are hard coding this long search URL over here. Instead of hard coding our search URL, I've created another sheet that I've renamed to Apollo search URL. Here's where we're going to add our search URLs over here. So on Apollo, if we search for the leads that we'd like to scrape, we're going to copy the search URL, come and add it over here, and then on make, instead of hard coding our search URL over here, on Google Sheet, I'm going to click on watch new rows module. We're going to use this as our trigger. So I'll connect it over here, and then auto align it. Here, I'm going to search for a spreadsheet, just scraping sheet. Sheet name is going to be search, Apollo search URL. You can limit it to 1. And then click on save. You can see it's asking us to choose where to start. You can choose to start from a specific ID, choose all, or choose manually. I'm going to click on choose manually, choose our URL over here, and click on save. And now we can run this module. You can see we're getting our search URL right here. So yeah, I'll rename this to Apollo search URL. Click on OK. You can rename to Apollo search URLs. Click on OK. Now, this module, instead of hard coding our link, we're going to add it from our watch new rows module and click on save. See how our automation works. Here, I'm going to choose our search URL from our sheet. I'll choose manually, choose our link over here and click on save. Here we added our URL from our spreadsheet right here. Click on save. Now to run it, I'll click on run once. You can see that automation ran successfully over here, which is awesome. So here, scrape leads from the search URL on Apollo, succeeded in scraping the leads, total of 25 leads. Then we got the leads over here, the 25 leads. Then out of the 25 leads, only 13 leads had the email addresses, which we added to our spreadsheet over here. So we're just getting a repeat of all leads. So you can choose to delete these leads over here. So now with our leads over here, we can proceed and start generating a personalized first line to send an outreach campaign to these leads. You can see we're getting a ton of data that we can use to create a personalized first line for leads. So here we can use their website URL to generate a personalized first line. So let us try doing that. So to generate a personalized first line from the website, we're going to use an AI tool. So here I'll search for Google Gemini, and here I'm going to click on create a completion. Here you'll need to create a connection between your Gemini account and Make by clicking on add. Here you can rename your connection and add your API key over here. To get your API key, just open this link on a new tab. Then you're going to generate an API key. You're going to add over here to create a connection between your Gemini account and Make. Since I had already created my connection, I'm going to choose my connection over here. Then you're going to choose an AI model. I'm going to choose the latest AI model, which is Gemini 2.0 Flash. This is the latest model that we're using currently. Then here I'm going to choose a role. I'm going to choose a model role. Then I'll add an item, choose a message type as text, and add the prompt for this model role. The prompt for this role could be in the lines of, "You are a helpful, intelligent writing assistant." And then here I'll add an item, choose a role. I'm going to choose a user role. Then here I'll add an item, message type. I'm going to choose text, and here I'll add the prompt for the user role. The prompt for this role could be in the lines of, "Your task is to take a website link of a user and then generate a very short, very punchy icebreaker that I can use as a personalized first line for a cold email campaign." Here we're going to add the website URL. So here we're going to search for the website URL and add it over here. I'll root only the personalized first line, no explanation or summaries. Then here I'm going to click on save. To generate the personalized first lines using our Gemini module, here we're going to choose to start from our follow search URL that we added to our sheet, and then run automation. You can see that automation ran successfully. We scraped leads from the search URL Apollo using this tool over here, where we scraped a total of 25 leads that we got over here. Then we filtered and added only the leads with their email addresses to spreadsheet. Then using Gemini, we generated 13 personalized first lines for leads. So here you can see the personalized first line that we're generating for us for our leads over here. For example, love the igloo vibes. Are you helping companies build their own digital headquarters? That's a very personalized first line, personalized to this particular lead. The other one is love the pet-friendly focus at Wonder Race Agency. This is an amazing first line. Love the be a tourist in your own brand blog post. That's an amazing personalized first line. So we scripted a total of 13 personalized first lines over here, which is amazing. Now, yeah, I renamed these to personalized first line stroke icebreaker over here. So now let us proceed and add the personalized first lines to our lead that we just scraped over here. To do that, here on Google Sheet, I'll click on update row module. Here, choose our spread, which is scraping sheet. I'm going to choose our sheet name, which is Apollo leads. Row number, we're going to add the row number over here. And then here we like to update the personalized first line column with the results that we generated in Gemini. Then here I'm going to click on OK. Here we can rename this to first line stroke icebreaker. You can rename this to sort of personalized. You can say generate first line stroke icebreaker over here. To add our first lines to a spreadsheet, I'll delete our leads first, leave this one over here for formatting purposes. And then here, I'll choose our search URL from our sheet, choose this one over here, click on save, and then run automation again. That automation ran successfully. We scraped leads from this Apollo search URL using this module. Got the leads over here, filtered the leads with the email addresses, and then we added them to a spreadsheet. And we also generated first lines for the leads with the email addresses, and then added the first lines to a spreadsheet. So here, I'll delete the first column that we left. And then here you can see we added our leads over here. We added their first name, last name, email address, phone number, personalized first line, their LinkedIn URL. So you can see the personalized first lines over here. Love how the Influencer Marketing Factory helps brands tap into the power of micro-influencers. It's a very personalized first line. Love the focus on connection in a disconnected world. It's amazing. Love the whimsical ambience of the pink door. It's describing their website, which is really amazing. Now that we have their first name, last name, email address, and a personalized first line, we can go ahead and create a campaign to an outreach tool to send these leads in outreach email. To send an outreach campaign, I'm going to use this tool called Lemlist. I'll search for Lemlist and click on Lemlist. Here, I'm going to click on Add a lead in a campaign. On Lemlist, I've created a campaign that I've renamed to Diligent Copywriting Campaign. And these are the emails that we're going to send to our leads. Here I've added an icebreaker by just adding to call it braces. Here, and then coming over here and choosing a icebreaker, which will be the first line that we generated using automation. Here we're writing our offer and our call to action over here. So this is the first email that we're going to send to our leads. Then 1 day later, we're going to send them this follow-up email. You can choose to add more emails if you're interested. Now on the lead list, here's where we're going to add our leads. So to create a connection between Lemlist and Make, we'll grab an API key from Lemlist. To get your API key, click on Integrations, and here click on Generate. Give a name to API key. You can say test and click on Create Key. And here we're going to copy our API key and click on Done. Now on Make, here click on Add. We're going to rename our connection and add our API key that we just copied over here and click on Save. You can see we created our connection. We're going to choose our campaign ID, which is this ID over here. We're going to add our leads information over here, like the email address. Should be the email address that we scrape from Apify. We're going to also add their first name, last name, company name, job title over here, LinkedIn URL. You can add their picture, but we are going to choose not to. The phone number. You can add their phone number over here. The company domain over here, and the icebreaker. The icebreaker will be the results that we generate using Gemini. And then here I'm going to click on Save. Yeah, you can rename this to Outreach Campaign, and then click on OK. We're going to run our automation one last time, where we're going to get our follow search URL in this module, scrape the leads using the URL, using the search URL. Here we're going to get our leads, add the leads with the email addresses to our spreadsheet, and then generate the first line. Add the first line to our spreadsheet, and then add the leads with the personalized first lines to our outreach campaign on Lemlist. To do that, I'm going to choose where to start, choose manually, and choose our search URL over here, and then run automation. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here we got our search URL, we added to our sheet, then we use the URL to scrape leads from Apollo using our tool over here. Then we got the leads over here, got a total of 25 leads over here. Then out of the 25 leads, only 13 leads had emails. Those are the leads that we added to a spreadsheet over here. So we added the first name, last name, the email address, the phone number, and the LinkedIn URL. Then we generated first lines from their website using Gemini, and we updated our leads with the first lines that we generated using Gemini over here. So you can see very personalized first lines generated from the leads website. And then we added the leads information with the first line that we generated using Gemini to an outreach campaign on Lemlist. On Lemlist, to a campaign, I'll click on lead list. You can see the leads that we scraped using automation and added the 13 leads to a lead list on Lemlist. So here we added their first name, email addresses, LinkedIn URL, and the icebreakers that we generated using automation. To launch the campaign, I'll click on launch, and here you can see our leads and the outreach emails that we're going to send them. You can remove this space, so I'll click on sequence, I can remove this space over here and then go back to launch. You can see now it's a well formatted email. So here you can see our first line that we generated using our workflow. We added it to our campaign here on Lemlist. You can see we generated first lines for each of our leads over here. Now to launch our campaign, you'll just click on launch for the 13 leads over here, and your campaign will be launched. You can choose to add intervals in which you'd like to send the emails. So for the first, after you've sent the first email, you can choose to send the second email after 30 minutes. So you can choose the intervals after you've clicked the launch button over here. You can also choose to schedule the launch by clicking over here. So after you've clicked the launch button over here to launch your campaigns will be launched, and Lemlist will begin sending these emails to your leads. Then one day after we send the first email, we're going to send the follow-up email if they wouldn't have responded to our first email. So our workflow works perfectly. Here we're getting an Apollo search URL that we added to our spreadsheet on the Apollo search URL sheet. Then we're using the URL to scrape leads from Apollo. Then we're getting the leads using this module over here. So we're getting a total of 25 leads. Then we're filtering the leads with email addresses and adding the leads to our spreadsheet. So here we added the first name, last name, the email addresses, phone number, and the LinkedIn URL. And then using their website, we're generating a personalized first line using Gemini. And then we're updating the leads that we added to a sheet with their first line that we generated over here. And here you can see the personalized first line that we generated. Then we're adding the leads data that we scraped using Apify and the first lines to an outreach campaign on Lemlist. Now, if you have an automation or a system in mind that you'd like for me to create using make.com, just comment down below in the comment section. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.